Hello everyone. Today we are going to solve question number 217 contains duplicate. In this question, you will be given an array and you have to find if this array contains a duplicate element or not. So there are three methods to solve this question. First, we are going to discuss the brute force approach to solve this question. So the brute force approach goes as first you are going to pick the first element using the first loop. Then you're going to pick second element using the second loop, and then you're going to compare these two elements. If they came out as same, then we're going to return true. And if this whole process ends and we never return the value, that means we can return false. This in turn means that there were no duplicate elements inside the nums. Okay. Using these two nested loops, the time complexity of our method is going to be O of n square. And since we didn't use another data structure to solve this question, we are going to have of one space complexity. So let's visualize how this method works. So basically, what you can see is first we had this array, and now what we can do is we are going to use first for loop to pick first element, next for loop to pick second element, and then we are going to compare them. They are not equal, move for next iteration. They are not equal, move for next iteration, and you can see here that we got them same. So we are going to return true. So this is the method. Let's code this one. So basically what you have to do is simply you have to just use two for loops. So int I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, then for int j is equal to I plus 1. So don't repeat the same elements. Okay. So we are going to use I is equal to j plus 1, j less than n, j plus plus, if nums of I is equals nums of j. Then we are going to return true. And in the end, if the whole loop ended and we never received a return, then we are going to return false. Let's run this. Okay, let's submit this. So as you can see, we got a time limit exceed a TLE. So basically this method is of n square time complexity. So we have to simplify it. So next we are going to see sorting based approach. Next we are going to do sorting based approach to solve this question. So in this method, what you have to do is you're going to first sort the array. Okay, sort the given array. Next, what you have to do is you're going to iterate over the sorted array and check if the elements beside each other are same or not. If they are same, then you're going to return to. Why we are checking the elements beside each other? Since after sorting, the duplicates will be next to each other. Okay, and if we completed this whole iteration and we never returned a value, that means there were no duplicates, and hence we can return false. Okay, and due to sorting, this method is going to be having a time complexity of n log n. Okay, so let's visualize this method. First we had this array. Next what we did is we sorted this array. Okay, we sorted this array. Next, yeah, what you have to do is you're going to pick the values beside each other, and then we are going to check. So as we started from the first value, so 1 and 1 both are same, so we are going to return as true since both of these elements are same. In another case, if a sorted value came as, let's say we had this like 2 2 and 3, and this is 2 2 and 3, so we are going to move for the next iteration. Okay, so let's code this one. So what you have to do is first we have to sort this array. So sort nums dot begin, comma, nums dot end. So first thing is done. Now we have to just iterate over this array. So I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Now if nums okay, so rather than iterating from 0, we are going to iterate from 1. Okay, since we iterated from 0, so I minus 1 is going to be minus 1. Okay, so if nums of I minus 1 equals nums of I. Okay, so let me put this in if condition. If nums of I minus 1 is equals nums of I, then we are going to return true. And if we iterated over whole loop and we never return true, then we are going to return false. Okay, let's run this one. Let's submit this. So you can see we have solved this question using of and log n time complexity and of one space complexity. Next method, we are going to use HashMap approach, where we are going to use where we will have of n time complexity and of n space complexity. Next, we are going to see HashMap based approach to solve this question. So in this method, what we have to do is, first you are going to create a hash map, and this hash map is going to store value comma index pair. Okay, while creating this hash map, we are going to check if we encountered the same number already inside the map, then we are going to return true. And if we fill the whole hash map and we never return true, that means we have exited loop, and hence we can return false over here. Okay, so basically this method, we're going to iterate over the array, so it's going to take of n time complexity, and space is going to be O of n because we are creating a hash map. Okay, so let's visualize this one, how this method works. First we will be given this array. Now what we have to do, we reach the first index, the first element here. 1 does not exist inside the map, so we are going to insert it. So here is the hash map. Next, we reach 2. 2 does not exist inside the map, so we are going to insert it. This is the visualization for this one. Second, we reach 3. 3 does not exist inside the map, so we are going to insert it. So we have this hash map here. Next, we reached 1 again, and 1 does exist inside the map with 1 as key and 0 as index. Hence, we found that there's a duplicate inside this array. Hence, we are going to return true. Let's code this one. So first, what you need is unordered map int comma int mp. Okay, I'm going to name it mp. Now what you have to do is just iterate over the array. So int I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus. If okay, two things here. First is we are going to check if the element already exists or not. So if mp dot find nums of I is not equal to mp dot end. Okay, then we are going to return true. Okay, this basically means there's also already a duplicate element inside this. Else we are going to fill a unordered map. So it's going to be mp of nums of I equal to I, or you can just fill 1, that also works. Okay, so this is it. And if after the whole loop, if we never return, so we can return false outside this. Okay, let's run this. Let's submit this. So as you can see, we have solved this question using all the 3 approaches. Thank you.